Why trusts matter. Most people think trusts are only for billionaires or celebrities, but that's a myth. Anyone who owns property, has savings, or runs a business can use a trust to protect what they've built. A trust is like building a protective box for your assets, a legal framework that keeps your wealth safe and ensures it's used the way you intend. Trusts are powerful because they do more than just hold assets. They can help your heirs avoid expensive and public court processes, protect your money from lawsuits or creditors, reduce taxes, and even ensure that your family's future is secure. In a world where financial risks, from lawsuits to market crashes, can strike suddenly, trusts offer peace of mind and control. What a trust really is. A trust is essentially a legal relationship, and it involves three key players: grantor, or settler, the person who creates the trust and decides what goes into it; trustee, the person or institution responsible for managing the assets. They must follow the rules you set in the trust document; beneficiaries, the people or organizations who benefit from the trust, such as children, grandchildren, or even a favorite charity. When you put your house, investments, or savings into a trust, you no longer own them personally. The trust owns them. That shift in ownership is what gives the trust its power. It separates you, legally, from the assets while still allowing you to control how they're used. Main reasons. People use trusts. People often underestimate how useful a trust can be until they see what it protects them from. Some of the most common reasons include: A. Avoiding probate. Probate is the legal process that happens after someone dies to distribute their assets. It can take months or even years, involve high fees, and expose your private finances to the public. A trust lets your beneficiaries receive what you leave behind quickly and privately. B. Protecting assets. We live in a litigious world. Doctors, business owners, and property investors often face lawsuits. With the right type of trust, especially irrevocable or asset protection trusts, your assets can be shielded from legal claims. C. Reducing taxes. For wealthy families, estate taxes can take a huge bite out of what gets passed down. Certain trusts are designed to minimize or even avoid these taxes, preserving more wealth for your heirs. D. Controlling inheritance. Trusts can set rules. For example, you might want your children to inherit money only after they reach a certain age or finish their education. A trust lets you create those conditions. Types of trusts and their uses. Different trusts serve different needs. Here's a closer look. A. Revocable living trust. This trust can be changed or dissolved at any time during your lifetime. Best for avoiding probate, keeping things private, and making it easier for heirs to inherit. Limitation. Because you still control the assets, they're not protected from lawsuits or estate taxes. B. Irrevocable trust. Once created, it generally can't be changed. Best for protecting assets from creditors and reducing estate taxes. Key advantage. Since you no longer legally own the assets, they're often safe from claims against you. C. Asset protection trust. Often set up in states or countries with favorable laws, such as Nevada or certain offshore jurisdictions. Best for high-risk professions or anyone wanting to shield assets from lawsuits. D. Charitable Remainder Trust, CRT. You can donate assets to a charity through this trust, but still receive income from it during your lifetime. Best for philanthropy plus tax savings. How trusts protect your wealth. Trusts provide multiple layers of protection. From lawsuits. If you're sued, assets held in a properly structured trust are often shielded. From creditors, business owners and professionals often face financial risks. Trusts can separate personal wealth from business liabilities. From family conflicts, a trust makes your wishes legally binding, reducing inheritance disputes. From high taxes, strategic trust planning can lower estate and inheritance taxes. From public scrutiny, unlike wills, trusts are private and don't become public records. Step by step, setting up a trust. Here's a simple roadmap to get started. Define your goals. Are you trying to avoid probate, protect assets, reduce taxes, or a mix of these? Pick the right trust. Work with professionals to select the type that best fits your needs. Choose a trustee. This could be a trusted relative, a friend with good financial judgment, or a professional trustee like a bank or law firm. Name beneficiaries. Be specific about who benefits and under what conditions. Transfer assets. A trust only works if you actually move assets into it. This step is often overlooked. Update as life changes. Births, deaths, marriages, and even new laws can make it necessary to review and adjust your trust. Common mistakes to avoid. Even with good intentions, people often make costly mistakes, forgetting to fund the trust. If your assets stay in your own name, the trust won't protect them. Picking the wrong trustee. A bad trustee can mismanage funds or fail to follow instructions. Ignoring legal details. Trust laws vary by jurisdiction. Poorly drafted trusts may not hold up under scrutiny, failing to review regularly. A trust set up decades ago may not reflect your current wishes or today's laws. Trusts for business owners. Expanded. For entrepreneurs and business owners, trusts can be more than just a safety net. They can be a strategic weapon for long-term stability. If you own a small business, a family company, or even a growing startup, you face unique risks. A lawsuit against you personally, a sudden illness, or even disputes among business partners can threaten the survival of the company. Placing your business shares into a trust can help shield them from such risks. A revocable living trust can simplify the transfer of business assets if something happens to you, avoiding probate and preventing disruptions to operations. For those with larger companies, an irrevocable trust, or even a dynasty trust, can protect the business's value from creditors, ensure it stays within the family, and help reduce estate taxes for future generations. Trusts also help you plan for succession. Instead of your heirs fighting over control of the company, the trust's instructions can set out exactly who takes charge and how profits are distributed. This stability can keep employees confident and protect your business's reputation. The role of professionals. Expanded. Trusts aren't one-size-fits-all. The type of trust that works for a retired couple may not be suitable for a doctor worried about malpractice lawsuits, or for a business owner trying to hand down a company. That's why building the right trust almost always requires the help of professionals. An estate planning attorney is essential because the laws governing trusts vary by state and country. A poorly drafted trust may be challenged in court or fail to offer the protection you expect. Attorneys help design a structure that meets your needs, complies with regulations, and avoids common pitfalls. A financial advisor is equally important. After all, a trust doesn't just hold your assets, it needs to keep them growing. Advisors can help you decide whether to keep assets in stocks, bonds, or other investments inside the trust. They also ensure your investment strategy matches your goals, such as providing a steady income for beneficiaries or growing wealth for future generations. A tax specialist or accountant rounds out the team. Tax rules for trusts can be complicated, and mistakes can lead to unnecessary penalties or higher taxes. With proper guidance, you can structure your trust to minimize estate taxes, income taxes, and even capital gains taxes in some cases. In short, the right team ensures that your trust isn't just a legal document sitting in a drawer, but an active, well-managed plan for protecting and growing your wealth.